adventure tips.
What was the most risky adventure you have been on?
How long did you think it would take for you to cycle around the world?
What inspired you to be an adventurer?
What was your first adventure and how old was you? Did you see any interesting creatures and can you describe them?
What was your favourite place you explored?
Were you upset when you couldn't travel in lockdown?
What is your greatest fear and why?
Have you ever got lost? What main equipment did you need to travel to?
If you ever felt like giving up, what made you keep going?
Thank you, Mr. Humphreys. We look forward to hearing your answers. Bye!
Hello everyone at St Peter's Primary School. My name is Alastair Humphreys. I'm the author of The Boy Who Bite the World books that you've been looking at. Thank you for sending me your questions. Oh, my kettle's just boiled, ready for a good cup of tea. Vital when you're a book writer to spend most of your day drinking tea. But I'm pausing my writing of a book to answer your questions, which I've got here up on my computer. What's your top 3 adventure tips? Wow. 1. Get more excited by all the things that might go well, rather than getting worried by the things that might not go so well. In other words, get excited about all the good stuff in adventures and in life, and don't worry so much about the problems. You'll figure those out along the way. If you're bold and curious, you'll figure stuff out on your adventures. Another tip, don't take too much. Don't take with you all the things that you think you might like to have. Only take the things that you cannot possibly live without. And number 3, make sure you have a dry pair of socks and clothes to put on in the evening, even in a rainy, horrible day. So have one set of dry clothes packed away in a nice waterproof bag, tucked in your bag, so that when you get into your tent, however wet and cold you are, you can wriggle into some warm, dry clothes. The problem with that, though, is also that the next morning you must, when you're warm and dry, you must take off those lovely warm clothes and put on your wet, cold, smelly, horrible clothes again, as you set off on your adventure, saving the dry clothes for the evening. It's horrible, but it's worth it. You soon warm up. What's the riskiest adventure that you've been on? I don't really think of myself as being a risky person. I try to think of things that are exciting and challenging and difficult, and that there's a chance of failure, but not things that are risky and reckless, dangerous. There's a bit of a difference in those things. So I'm not really a brave risk taker, to be honest. How long did you think it was going to take to cycle around the world? When I set off, I thought it would take 3 years. And then when I was on my way, I thought it was going to take 5 years. And then I got a bit lazy and I really didn't quite have the energy to cycle. Whoa! Camera just felt like I've got a very high-tech camera holding system. An old syrup tin balanced on here like that. Very professional. I might just hold the camera. Yeah, I thought it would take me 3 years. Then I thought it was going to take 5. Then I got too lazy to cycle across Australia, so it ended up taking me 4. Next question. Sorry about this chaos. Very unprofessional. What inspired you to go on an adventure? I was inspired to go on my adventures by reading books about other adventurers, crazy men and women who went on all sorts of mad journeys. I've actually written a book. Where is it? Here. Well, look, lots of books. Books are the best thing in the world for inspiring you to do adventures or whatever you want to do in life. Great adventurers. These are my heroes who inspired me to do my adventures. My first adventure. What was your first adventure? When I was 9, I walked the Yorkshire Three Peaks, which is a 20-mile challenge you have to do in 12 hours, and that was my first big adventure. Did you see any interesting creatures? Oh, a great thing of travelling the world are the interesting creatures. I think my favourite is probably rowing across the Atlantic Ocean, la 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 la, minding your own business, middle of the Atlantic Ocean, when whoosh, a whale jumps out of the ocean. I think that's the most magical thing I can think of. What's your favourite place that you've explored? Very hard question, and I would give a different answer every single time. Today's answer is Drum roll. Iceland. I love Iceland. Were you upset when you couldn't travel in lockdown? Oh my goodness me, wasn't lockdown boring? I hated it. But what I discovered was that you can find adventure close to home. I started exploring really close to home, running every street where I live, climbing local trees every month to notice nature changing, exploring the map that I live on. So I've had lots of adventures during lockdown. What's your greatest fear and why? I think my greatest fear, well, I'm pretty scared of narrow tunnels, claustrophobia. I'm getting increasingly scared of very tall cliffs. Now I'm getting old and boring. I'm also really scared of getting old and boring and wishing I'd done all sorts of things with my life. So I really like to try and get on and not waste my time. Have you ever got lost? Yes, lots of times. What main equipment did you need to cycle to Africa? Not a lot really. A bike, a tent, camping gear, puncture repair kit, stuff to fix your bike, a little cooker to cook some food, some sun cream, a toothbrush and a teddy bear. If you ever felt like giving up, what made you keep going? I often feel like giving up. Everyone feels like giving up when they do hard things. That's completely normal. But also it's normal that it feels great when you finish something big and difficult. And so what helped me keep going was realizing that if you give up, it feels great. You go home, you have a shower, you watch telly and you eat some ice cream and you think, brilliant. If you keep going, it's hard. But eventually when you get home, oh, that satisfaction is much, much better than the quick satisfaction you get from giving up. So I've just learned that persevering at things is worth it in the long run. And also, as you do start to stick at things, you realize that you're getting better at things than you used to be. You're becoming stronger or cleverer or braver than you used to be. And it's a sort of growth mindset to gradually get better and better and better. And once you start doing that, it becomes a habit and you don't want to give up then because you know it feels great when you keep going. Right, thank you very much for your questions. Thank you for reading my book. Sorry about the technical issues in my little filming. But yeah, thanks very much, guys. Bye-bye.